Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Boy in a Pumpkin. This is such a cute design that I got from Etsy. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed the video. So I'm starting out with making the flood. This is the royal icing that I'm making. This is confectioner sugar in a mixer and I'm just adding some water to it. This is a really easy recipe. I didn't add any meringue to it because I want the flood to dry quicker, and that's kind of the trick. This is a nice and easy and quick royal icing recipe that I got from YouTube. And now I'm just going to speed up the mixing just to get the flood nice and smooth. And there it is, all done and finished. And just put a piece of plastic wrap over it so that it doesn't get hard with the air touching it. And there it is, all bagged in piping bags. And there's the sugar cookies that I baked out. And we are ready to go. And this is the initial stage of laying down the flood. Is I am outlining the circle around the cookie first. I'm lifting up. I'm squeezing with my dominant hand, pushing with my less dominant hand, and just kind of allowing gravity to do its job here. And just come down at the end. There you go. And now I am flooding, just letting that stiff dry for a couple minutes, and now I'm just flooding. This is the flood, and getting that initial white surface down on the cookie. Sometimes the technical problems that comes with this is if the flood is too thin, it runs over like it's doing in the back. So you just have to make sure that your royal icing is thick enough to stay, but not thick enough to where it gets bumps and lumps on the surface. You want a nice, even, smooth surface. Here we are doing the second cookie and just getting that done. And there we have it, getting the last bit. And I'm going to clean that cookie up in the back, don't worry. And here is the initial flood. This is royal icing that I added some confectioner sugar to, because I wanted to outline over those lines there, and I also wanted to flood simultaneously, so I added some confectioner sugar to my flood so that it dries quicker. And I'm just outlining those lines and those grooves in the pumpkin. And now I'm going to flood it. This is such an adorable cookie. This is a really cute design that I got from Etsy. It's a little boy inside of a pumpkin and he's taking a nap. It's so cute for the fall season. I love being creative during this time of year. I love doing cookies like this. It's just so much fun. Sometimes the challenges that comes with doing these cookies is, especially when you're using a thick flood like this, is you don't have a nice smooth surface. And so you want to make sure that this surface is nice and smooth. Unfortunately, I made this flood a little too thick and it dries really quickly, so the detail work that I need to add to the pumpkin doesn't sink into that flood, which is okay. It's perfectly fine. And now I'm just gonna do, now that I'm finished with the pumpkin, I'm gonna do his hat. The trick here is, the good thing about having a thick flood is when you're doing two colors on top of each other or next to each other, you don't have to worry about bleeding or blending the colors because it's too wet. So you want to flood, if you're using a thin flood, you want to flood in those areas and then wait for the color to dry. But because this is a thick flood, I don't have to wait that long. And you get nice defined areas, thank God. And so I'm just doing the orange first. You want to do all of the orange first. Instead of doing like the orange and then the black, you just want to do all of the orange first. Wait for that to dry and then come back and do the darker color. That's the trick. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, you guys. I really enjoy hearing from you. I really enjoy the comments. So this is the image that I got from Etsy. You see how cute he is sleeping in the pumpkin. So this is the image that we're trying to replicate here. And I'm using a sketch projector. This is a sketch projector that I am projecting the image on the cookie with. This is what I'm using. And this machine is amazing. It is so much fun to use. I'm just so happy to have it. And now I'm just adding some detail work to the pumpkin, adding some highlights, and I made the hole in the bag just a little too small, and now I'm just gonna go and cut a bigger hole in the bag. The idea is to have those detail works sink into the flood, but because the flood on the pumpkin dried really fast, it kind of sits there on the surface. It's okay, but next time, don't wait. Get the detail down so that it sinks into the flood and you have a nice smooth surface. And now I'm just adding some more detail. I'm adding some white dots. I was trying to add stars to it and hearts, but it didn't come out right. Unfortunately, it's okay. I go back over it later. It's all good. So the ingredients that I'm using with these are royal icing, and it's colored in different colors. I tried to match it to the image as much as possible. I tried to match the orange with the orange, the little boy's skin color to the picture. I tried to match his cheeks. I tried to match everything to the image as close as possible. This is such a fun and creative idea. Just like I said, I just love doing this for the holidays. And now I'm doing his skin color here. Just going over the lines, following the line from the sketch projector that left down. If I didn't have the sketch projector, then I would be doing this freehand. But because I have it, I'm able to just follow the lines that's being projected onto the cookie. It's just such a fun machine. I definitely recommend you go out and get one of these machines if you're doing cookies like this. And because the orange is dry, I don't have to worry about the brown bleeding into the orange bleeding into the brown. And there it is. Now I'm just gonna do his hands. I was trying to define his fingers, but it just didn't come out right because the flood isn't thick enough. You need a more stiffer consistency to do that. But it's okay because I draw over it using a marker. So yeah, the color is able to sit there on the orange. It doesn't bleed into it. It's nice and dry and it just sits there. And now I'm going to do the black on the hat. I'm going to do I do the sleeves first. Yeah, I do the sleeves first. He's so cute, you guys. I just love this image so much. And now here's the black. Getting all those fine spaces, getting all those areas. I definitely recommend you try to do cookies like these. I will be doing more videos like this, so stay tuned. Hope you enjoy this one. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you are enjoying this video, I really appreciate it. And there's the black. And I'm just gonna finish up any areas there. Don't want to leave any areas unflooded. And then I'm just gonna do a ball on the end of his hat there. The flood is thick, so it dries quickly, which is really good. Sometimes, not all the time, but in this case, it's good. And there you have it. And then I'm going to do his cheeks. The color on his face it dried pretty quickly, so adding his cheeks doesn't sink into it, unfortunately. It just kind of sits on top of the surface, which is okay. But there's the balls to his cheeks. Now I'm just adding some stiff to define the pumpkin. I'm just going around the edges, going around the bottom of the pumpkin, just following all those grooves. And I'm just going to define the pumpkin just a little bit more. This is a stiff royal icing that I'm using. Here the stiff didn't detach in time, so it just kind of made that ugly line there. I'm gonna fix it. Just kind of remove that. That's the good thing about when you're doing cookies like this. You get to play around, you get to do whatever you want. have fun with it. I added some hearts in the places where the stars were supposed to be. I'm just going to clean up this line here. I'm just going to make it a little better. Just not as pretty as the grooves on the bottom. I want to match up the lines on the bottom of the pumpkin. Just get that last bit of color there. There. And instead of using a stiff black royal icing I used for his eyes and for his ears, I used a marker with a very, very fine ballpoint tip. Because the lines on his face are so thin, it's just better to use a marker with a really, really tiny tip there. And I try not to press too hard into his face there. Just follow the line that the sketch projector is projecting on the cookie. So I did his smile. I'm gonna do his ears. I added a nose in. And then for his eyebrows, I used the thicker side of the marker. I did his eyebrows, and now I'm just gonna do his eyes. And I'm going to do a little eyelash. And now I'm just gonna draw in his fingers using this. Later on, I added a little more lines to the pumpkin to get it more defined. And like I said, I added his nose as well. And that's it. There it is. Thanks so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Oh, take care. Happy holidays. Bye.